Welcome, 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 Instagram friends. Jenn here, coach for sensitive souls, those who struggle with the overwhelm and emotional fatigue that can come with being highly sensitive. And today, I want to talk about the importance of learning to focus our awareness or focus our mind. So as sensitive souls, HSP specifically, we are very prone to overwhelm. We process things more deeply. And as a result, because we're taking in so much information, we can be very prone to overwhelm. And our minds are filled with lots of stuff. And I think that applies to everybody these days. A lot of people are multitasking. We are very busy-minded. We're always thinking in the past or the future. So either we're thinking about our to-do list and what we need to do in the evening, or we're thinking about something we did and perhaps worrying about that. Or maybe we're worrying about something that's coming up, something that could happen. And I think it's just part of this busy world that we live in. We live in a very busy, noisy, chaotic world, and it's all about more. And so our mind is always busy and it's always jumping. And so this can, I think, create, I believe, and for me specifically, I like to speak from personal experience. I know that this way of thinking contributes to overwhelm for me and to fatigue, because if my mind is always bouncing to the future, to what could happen, that's going to create stress, right? Because the things that you're thinking about that could happen, that I'm creating stories about, are not typically happy, exciting things. They could be, but typically they're stressful things. So I'm creating stress for myself. Either that, or I'm worrying about something I did or said, and that's creating anxiety. I'm thinking about my to-do list, which is putting pressure on myself. So you can see how all of those things are contributing to overwhelm and fatigue, or how they can anyways. And so this is why I think focused awareness is so important. So focused awareness, for some people who've never heard of that, can sound like, okay, focused awareness, what the hell is that? So awareness is just what you're aware of, right? So you can just think of it as what I'm aware of in the present moment. So where my mind is at right now. And focused awareness is the practice of learning to hone our awareness to where we want it to go. Where we typically are, for most people, I know this is where I started out, my mind was just wherever. It was not it was like, I can't think of a better analogy than a dog without a leash. Okay? It's going here, it's going there, it's going here, it's going up. It's like, it's just running, doing circles, It reminds me of Kaya when she's on an off-leash hike and she just goes, and that's, she may do circles around me, she may run up to the right side, run up to the left side, she may go backwards, forwards, and I tell you, she gets a lot more, she gets a lot more steps than I do when she's off-leash, which kudos to her, and she needs it. Not that I don't need it, but she definitely does. And so you can imagine if our mind is like that all the time, it's exhausting. It's like not focused in any one way, shape, or form. But if you put a leash on it, if you put a leash on Kaya, I can focus her direction, right? And so learning focused awareness, I don't want to think it so much as leashing the mind, but it's more harnessing it, which a harness could also be a leash. It's kind of like a play on words, but we are harnessing it, and it's harnessing the power of our awareness. And the reason that this is important is because the more that we do this, we're going to start bringing our awareness into the present moment. Less on the outside of the past or the future, I just did that backwards, but you get what I mean. And more on the present moment. The reason that that is important is because, one, when we're focusing on the present moment, we're letting go of the stresses and anxieties of the past and the future. And we're focusing on the present moment. There are so many benefits to this, so I will try to come up with, think of all the ones that I can think of. Some of them are even just safety. Like, for those of us who are distracted and often thinking about a bunch of things, I know personally I am very accident prone. I bump into things, I trip on things, I bump into walls. A little bit embarrassing to admit that, but it's true. And so when I am more in the present moment, that does not happen. Being in the present moment does, decrease mistakes. It decreases that kind of stuff, which is all important. Perfection isn't everything, but being present is important. But more so, it's more calming, and it's more calming because it's more connecting to ourselves, because if we're in the present moment, we're connected more to soul, we're connected to our present experience, we're connected to our bodies more so. What is my current experience? What am I feeling emotionally? How is my body showing up right now? There's that. When I'm with someone else, it's more connective with that other person, because a lot of us live in this distracted, I see people together and they're on their phones, and it just kind of makes me a little sad. We're losing that ability to connect. And so learning to focus our awareness and be more present can really help with connection. And sometimes, what I've noticed is when I'm really distracted, I'll just be focusing on getting things done. And I miss out on these really beautiful small moments. So when I'm present, when I'm like, okay, what is happening right now? Let me focus on that, not just my own experience, but what I'm doing, what I'm physically doing in the moment. Maybe it's connecting with someone else. Maybe it's just enjoying my walk and the nature around me, rather than being distracted by a podcast or something I'm listening to. And I might see a fox, or I might see something else really cool on my walk. These little moments that would be otherwise missed. And so doing that just helps us to see the magic in the world and the beautiful little moments. And I'm trying to think. Lastly, focusing our awareness is really it will help to decrease that stress and overwhelm, because we're learning to bring our mind away from the past and future, which we cannot control and cannot change. So we focus on our present experience, and then we're taking away, it's not that we're taking away the stress, it's just we're letting go of the things we cannot change, and we're focusing on the present moment. Because I don't know about you, but no matter how much I think about and worry about the thing that I think might be coming, it doesn't make it any easier when it does come. But it does make my current experience leading up to it much more hellish, because I've been focusing on it and hyper attached to it. So if I can let that go, if I can say, okay, that is going to happen whether I focus on it or not, why don't I just focus on what I'm doing? Then I can focus on being connected to the moment, connected to myself. I can find joy and magic and little connections in each moment. And, it's not going to be like that all the time, but the more that we do that, I feel like the more that we can build on that and work on that, one, it helps us to develop a better relationship in ourselves, because we're harnessing our awareness, and we're going to start noticing stuff about our patterns. We're going to how we connect to other people, how we react to other people, how our body reacts to certain things. And that's going to build our intuition, and it's going to just help us to get to know ourselves on a deeper level and get to know other people on a deep level, which is wonderful as well. So it's going to do that, and I'm kind of losing my train of thought, but yes, all of those things, very important, and very important. Yes, it is important, but I feel it's a very important piece to finding that inner connection and inner peace, even when life is crazy busy. And, as a sensitive person, if I could say that there was, I wouldn't say one main goal, but like something that would just make my life better, that is one of the things that does, is being able to find that inner calm, inner joy, inner love, inner peace, even when life is busy, even when life is crazy and nutso and chaotic, because it always is going to be. That part's not going to change. The part of me being sensitive isn't going to change. So I need to figure out a way of living in a way that helps me to feel more connected despite the things I can't change. And I feel that focusing awareness is a big part of that. So yeah, that is all I have to say on that. If you have any questions or comments about that, I would love to hear them. I always love talking to people about this stuff. So message me anytime. If this is something that you're interested in learning and honing or trying out, and you want to do a one-on-one session, I offer those. You can message me about that as well. And I just did, it's about I think an 8-minute meditation on focusing awareness. So it's specifically on the practice of just focusing our awareness. It's very simple, and I hope that will help. So like I said, if you have any questions, I guess I'm repeating that. Let me know, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, my friends.